With no football on last night, I was kind of like a bear coming out of hibernation after 3 days of nothing but the NFL and the national title game. I imagine we were all a little bleary-eyed. And even if you're kind of surfing, looking for college basketball or the NBA, you're not quite sure if the games are going to be played. They've canceled multiple games lately, but in the shadow of football, this hasn't made a dent in the news cycle because we've been so consumed by the NFL with the playoffs, the national title game. And we're looking at these NBA games and we're like, okay, they got restarted here and, it's a shortened season. And all right, I'll catch up with it in maybe March or so. But there's a lot of things going on right now when you think about it in sports. And you have the Rockets with James Harden. You got the Nets with Kyrie Irving. The Texans with Deshaun Watson. These are situations that are fluid. They're happening right now, and we're trying to fix them or at least come up with an explanation as to why they're happening. I watched James Harden last night with the Lakers, and there's one thing that I will say about James Harden, and I've said this before many, many times. I find him amazing. He's somebody that I love to watch, but I love to watch when he wants to play basketball. He doesn't look like he wants to play basketball. Looks like he doesn't want to be in Houston, doesn't want to be in a Houston uniform, and is basically given up. That's really troubling because he's not being professional. And he's the one that helped orchestrate all of this. He is the Houston Rockets. He's the one who wanted this guy, and you trade that guy, bring this guy in. And then all of a sudden he looked around and he went, wait a minute. I don't like what's going on here. I don't like who we have here. James, you created the situation. If look no further than you, and then start to take inventory with other people that you want to bring into the blame game here. But it starts with you. You don't want to be there? Okay. Now what? So the Rockets, who did everything that you wanted them to do, now you want them to trade you. You're still scoring. You're 14th in the league in scoring. But he doesn't even get over 20 points, I believe, in the last 4 games. And last night, he didn't want to be there. And after the game, this is what's really troubling when he had this to say to the media.
We're just not good enough. Obviously, chemistry, talent-wise, just everything. And it was clear, like I said, these last few games. I love this city. I literally done everything that I can. I mean, this situation is crazy. It's something that I don't think can be fixed.
16, 20, 15, and 15. Those are his points the last 4 games. James Harden can have that in a quarter. He doesn't want to play. You've lost 4 or 5. You got embarrassed by the Lakers last night. But instead of being a professional saying, hey, I helped create this, I'm going to stay in here for the long haul and try to make this better. What was it? Was there a moment where he looked around and went, do I really want to play with these guys? Do I want to play this style? Do I want to be known as this kind of player? And it has to be frustrating for Houston fans. Because it wasn't long ago where you go, the Rockets are exciting. We got Deshaun Watson. Hey, the Astros are winning the World Series. Now Deshaun Watson wants out. Westbrook is out. You got John Wall. Poor John Wall. John Wall coming back from surgery on his Achilles, and he's looking around going, wait a minute, I've only been here 9 games. Like, what's wrong? Here's John Wall on James Harden wanting out of Houston.
End of the day, a lot of guys here want to compete at a high level. And like I told everybody tonight, I told the guys before, when the 1 through 15 guys all on the same page, they commit, they know their role, they know what they want to do, they know what they want to get out of this, that's the win, you all will be fine. But when you have certain guys in the mix that don't want to buy in all as one, it's going to be hard to do anything special, do anything good as a basketball team. I've been on those teams in my 11 years been in the league. I've been on a team like that my first 5 years where it was all about me, not about the team. And that hurts. And it brings everybody down. So when we can get all on the same page, we can be something good here. And we can't dwell it down on it because it's only been 9 games. Like, come on, man. You want to jump off the cliff off of 9 games? There's a lot of basketball still be played.
John Wall's the professional in the room. This is what James Harden should be saying. Hey, it's 9 games. We got a good group of guys here, and we're going to make this better. Instead of throwing his arms up saying, hey, I want out of here. It's like somebody who builds a house and it's not a good house, and then they're the ones that built the house, and then they say, I don't want to live in this house. You build it. I don't want to live here. He wants to go to somebody else's house. And, I guess we expect the Nets are going to go, trade Kyrie for James Harden. How about that? If you can find Kyrie. Because right now, we have no idea. We have no idea what's going on with Kyrie Irving. But the Nets got to do all the right things, say all the right things. Got to give him time. Hey, he'll be back when he needs to come back. Okay. My point through all of this was, at least let Steve Nash know what's going on so he doesn't look foolish. Hey, Steve, where's your starting point guard? I'm not sure. Haven't been in touch with him. Oh, wait, he's been in touch with some of his teammates. Yeah, I know. Like, this is where you go, it's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Like, hey, it's game time. Do you know where your starting point guard is? I would just say, and I don't know if any of the media is just say, do you know where Kyrie is? How concerned are you that Kyrie is not here? Why is he not playing in this game? Here's Steve Nash.
Are you sure Kyrie will be back this year, or are you at least confident he will be?
Sure. Like I said, like right now, I got to focus on coaching this team and getting the best out of them. So I can't make any predictions, prognostications about things that are outside of this building this evening. We got our hands full with the Nugs, and my hands are full there, and that's really where I got to focus.
All right. I feel bad for Steve. Now, when this started, I got Kyrie and KD, and I said it's either going to be spectacularly great or spectacularly a disaster. And it's been both, because we do see glimpses of, boy, these guys can be unbelievable, to, okay, and Kyrie is the key. In Cleveland, it became an issue. In Boston, it became an issue. And he just got there with the Nets a little over a year. And here we are. And maybe there's something more to this. Maybe there's something that's seriously going on right now. And it deserves a sensitive touch here. I get all those things. But at least let your coach know that you're not going to be playing. That's the point. Deshaun Watson's not happy. And I understand why he's not happy, because he looks around and he goes, okay, we traded away DeAndre Hopkins. Who did we get? Well, we didn't get anything there. We used to have a formidable defense. We don't have a formidable defense. I turned in the greatest season a quarterback's ever turned in for a team that won 4 games. Statistically, look at his numbers. He was doing everything he can and looks around and goes, all right, I got a coach. No, I don't want him to be the coach who's the general manager. Who are we bringing in as our general manager? I like to have this guy interviewed. You gave me the power to at least be involved in these decisions, which I didn't agree with, but you gave him the power to be involved in these decisions. And here you are. He wants Eric Bieniemy interviewed. And I think that's going to happen. Everybody is being interviewed, by the way, over Zoom. Everybody. Like, if you're not interviewed this year with Zoom, you're not getting interviewed. I mean, Jason Garrett getting interviewed for the possibility of the head coaching job of the Chargers. Like, everybody, come on down, get on a Zoom call, and then they don't have time or they're not interested in Eric Bieniemy. Okay, I'm not saying Eric Bieniemy is the next Andy Reid. But it does feel like there's a pretty good track record there. You do have his quarterback who is speaking on his behalf, who would then lose him as his offensive coordinator, but thinks that highly of him. Even letting Deshaun Watson know you should bring in Eric Bieniemy as your head coach. So there's a lot of things going on with big question marks attached to them. Deshaun Watson, James Harden, and, of course, Kyrie Irving. I was looking at these numbers with James Harden, and the reason why I'm piling on is because I've been over the top supportive of James Harden as a basketball player. I find him truly amazing. First 3 games, averaged 37, shot 52 from the floor, 45 from three-point range, had 5 3-pointers per game made, Last 5 games, 17 points per game, shooting 37%, shooting 25% from three-point range, and he's making 2 3-pointers per game. James Harden has licked the stamp, put it on the envelope, and mailed it in. And I have a problem with that. Not everybody's going to play with the best team, but you got to make the best of a situation that you help create. And if you want to play better, like if I'm a team right now, do I go, man, now's when I really want James Harden? Looks like he's out of shape, and it looks like he doesn't care. Man, who do we want to give up to get James Harden? At least Deshaun Watson is coming off an unbelievable year for a bad team that went through an awful lot, and he still played magnificently. Yeah, Paul.
When you said that about James Harden, I thought to myself, this sounds like a job for the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got some young talent. Let's package them up.
Yeah, but he's not going to want to go there.
Of course not.
I mean, that's the thing, is that he wants to go for a winner. Hey, I got to go. I got to be part of a winner. Okay, you got to be part of a winner. But weren't you part of a winner in Houston? You just got to a certain glass ceiling and you couldn't get through it. I understand those things. But you didn't want Chris Paul anymore. You wanted Russell Westbrook. You traded away all of your draft picks. And then you suddenly were moving on from Russell Westbrook. You know, that's one of those where you have to go, you know, maybe I'm the problem. Like after a while you go, who's the problem here? What's the problem here? James has to look at this and go, maybe I'm part of the problem. Does anybody want to play with me? And how many times does a superstar go, you know, I'm the problem? It's really, 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 really rare. And if they do it, they probably don't say it publicly. But James Harden has to look at this and say, I can be the solution to my problem, me. But I don't think he wants to.